Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
Emmerich, how could you stay annoyed at that face? Skull.
Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
There's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
Doesn't ring a bell?
A lich is a mage transformed into one of the undead while retaining their true, original consciousness. The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Not everyone gets to meet their idols.
Oh, but I was nervous. The Liches are the great protectors of the Necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
Hold on. If you become a lich, then all this flirting we've been doing...
I should hate to lose your company while I'm still mortal.
What would you being a lich be like?
A vast leap. Flesh cast aside for bone, returned immortal for all time.
So, if we keep flirting afterward, you'll be a skeleton?
If we what?
Not ruling it out, just asking.
Oh, I'd inform you before making any decisions to... questions of lichdom are... Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
Emmerich, aren't most undead just random spirits inside corpses?
Liches are different. It wouldn't be a spirit acting in my name. My true consciousness would be housed in my departed flesh.
How?
The Order must keep some secrets. Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond.
So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die permanently during the rites. What cowardice! A promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
If you want lichdom that badly, you have to go for it.
I always thought I'd find the courage when I grew older. Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkos? She's a lich.
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So, what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkos was shouting so much.
Oh, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkos avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations.
For a watcher, Hezenkos is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirit... For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to...
That's right. There's probably another skeleton in there.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you. Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Volkaren. They walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
Rook, it's a pleasure. Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom.
What would they have wanted me to be?
can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy. You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
Rook, you're here.
Is something wrong?
Viago and Dea sent word. They have information about Ilario. Whatever it is, they wish to speak away from Treviso, away from anyone who might be listening. They won't put more to paper. I need to meet with them as soon as possible.
You're late. And you brought a guest.
I brought wine.
I do not drink alcohol. Tosh did not tell you, just as she did not tell me that you would join us.
I don't smell the Iskop. We always have Iskop on Tuesdays.
I am not yet finished with my studies. I thought you would help me tonight.
And by help, you mean do it all. You haven't even chopped the melons.
You swing axes all day. Do you lack the strength to chop a few melons? The runes on the tablet are written in the old Kunari tongue, but they are incomplete.
So they never finished it?
No. It is clearly finished, but parts of letters have been hidden somehow, rendering the tablet unreadable.
That has to be annoying for a scholar.
Yes, I have studied the first expedition for decades, but I have never seen this before.
What do you mean, the first expedition?
Your history teaches that Kunari landed on Thedas 300 years ago, in the Steel Age. This is true, but incomplete. Almost 1,000 years earlier, the first expedition came only to vanish. They were Kunari who predated the Qun itself. That is what I study.
Here. Food's ready.
This is not Iskap.
Wasn't feeling like Iskop. We're in Ravane. Might as well eat like it.
I see.
The new bookshelf should be here next week. Got him for you with some of the gold from the dragon.
You need not trouble yourself. My studies are clearly of little importance.
Okay? Bye. Thanks for coming.
She used she. You haven't told her yet.
I was going to. Then we got here and she was... like that.
You should be able to be yourself around her. Hey, you get to be who you are.
I know. I'll tell her.
When you're ready. On your terms.
Thanks.
Shanedan, cousin. Fight well today.
Rowan, hey. Cousin? Huh. Thanks. Never had a cousin before.
They said I could find you here.
Good timing. I think I'm done for the day. The Lords of Fortune don't mess around, do they? Hey, thanks for the lessons. I'll be back. I'm beat. I just gotta...
You just gotta...
Do you feel that? It's dark. And they're so afraid. So alone.
Hudding? What's happening?
There's so many of them. All in my head. So much.
Shit. Oh, shit. Hey, let's just talk. Talk to me.
I could feel it. Rippling through the stone. Confusion. Isolation. Fear.
Whose fear?
Whatever was after me has turned on the dwarves. It's drawing me out. Drawing me down.
And if I know you, You're going to go because people are in danger.
Absolutely.
Then so will I.
Good. That means whatever's out there better run.
Hey Tash, you talked with your mother lately?
I'm here to hit things.
Let's say yes then.
This should never happen. Not anywhere.
Father gives me an allowance and I barely use any.
There's dangerous fanatics, then there's Aelia. She's loose in Ducktown, and we're in the dark.
What's the plan?
The Threads and Aelia's Venatori are at war. That might slow Aelia down, but until I know her plans, I need to hear whatever information the Threads pick up.
What about Rana? Can she help?
I told Rana that Aelia's back. She needs the warning. As for help, Rana wants to be an example. Not sure where that goes anymore.
You're worried about her.
I'm worried about everyone. Tired enough to admit it.
Ducktown's protected. What can the Threads do for you?
Aelia's a pain for both of us. Let's talk.
We know people in this town. Neighbors. When they don't turn up on the rounds, we notice. Aelia used the threads for dirty work. Stolen relics, muscle, spies. These people, they disappear.
And you don't know where to.
Aelia's good at covering her tracks. That's why you're here. I've got names of missing people, including those hardly anyone noticed yet. All yours, no catch.
We can't let Aelia do this. If what she did to the threads was an opening act...
We won't like the show.
This is war. We find Aelia, we kill her. Give the cult something to think about. You find her, you do the same. Docktown's ours.
To Docktown. From the people who breathe it, bleed for it, no one's got its back like we do.
So whatever it takes.
And then some. I knew I liked you.
To home.
All right. I think we can make this work.
Thanks for tagging along, Rook. Those feelers I put out about the Gloomhowler turned up something. Evka, I got your message.
I figured you'd want to hear this. This is Davrin and Rook. You can trust them.
What's your name?
You're in a town full of Grey Wardens. It's probably the safest place in the world right now.
How can we help?
My name's Valya. When I heard about Wise Helped, what happened... I once trained to be a Grey Warden, but I left before the joining.
It's not for everyone.
It wasn't that. It's... I'm the one who found the griffin eggs, before they hatched.
I've got about 1,000,000 questions. But why come to us now?
I knew some of the wardens who were caring for the griffins, Remy and Lancet. I think I know what killed them.
The Gloomhowler. It's a Grey Warden, isn't it? An elf?
But that's all we know.
Yes. Her name was Isaiah. I found her diary. She was a mage. She blighted all the griffins during the Fourth Blight.
What?
Upon direct orders from the First Warden at the time. She had no choice. This was centuries ago.
Why would they do that?
In her diary, Isaiah said the Blight was going badly. The Wardens couldn't win. They turned to blood magic. The Griffins fought harder, longer.
I see where this is going.
Isaiah didn't want to do it. But orders were orders. It won the war.
But then...
The Griffins became rabid. They turned against the Wardens.
So then the First Warden turned against them.
He ordered them all destroyed.
That's why they're extinct.
Could understand why the Sisseya is so pissed.
She felt betrayed by the Wardens, forcing her to do it. As penance, she hid the remaining eggs with a protective spell. I followed the clues and found them.
That was 400 years ago. She shouldn't even be alive.
Her last entry said she left for her calling.
Then she's probably in the deep roads. Blighted. Twisted.
Hassan? I was there the day you hatched. You've grown.
Careful. He's a shameless flirt.
That's because he's such a pretty boy, isn't he? I remember feeding him gingerwort truffles as a baby.
So you're the reason Davrin's been hunting mushrooms instead of monsters?
Anything for the prince.
I don't see a crown on your head yet, boy.
There should be. Griffins give the Wardens hope. Something to rally around after Weishaupt. Please find his brothers and sisters, whatever it takes. We owe them so much.
Count on it.
Stay safe, Hassan.
This is good information, but it still doesn't tell us where the Gloomhowler is.
No, but the other Wardens will keep looking. The Gloomhowler, Seiya, can't hide forever.
Hey, Dad. You know those containers are made for some of the Wardens joining this?
Yeah.
Can we make one for the physician, Flynn? They should get one too, right?
We can make something for Flynn.
Maybe
Hey, Mila. How are the wetlands?
blighted.
Right.
The Wardens have a lot to do.
Masked mystery.
Why don't you care?
You found something? About Ilario?
Possibly. What do you mean, possibly? You have something or you don't?
It's Caterina.
We don't know that for certain.
Tell me.
I've got my eyes on Villa della Morte. One of them brought back one of Caterina's rings.
It had been thrown out with the trash. Ilario would never do that. He'd at least pawn it somewhere.
You think Katerina threw the ring away as a message that she's inside the house?
Her opal ring. Lucanis, you know what that means.
She gave that ring to my mother. It was the mark of her favor. House Veilguard killed my parents and sent it back to Caterina to demand she surrender the seat of First Talon. She's alive. Ilario, you idiot.
We need more eyes in the villa to say for certain.
Ilario would tear the city apart searching if he'd lost this. How could she be alive? What is he thinking? How am I supposed to deal with this?
We need to plan a rescue. The sooner we get Caterina out of there, the better.
It could be a trap.
We have to deal with Ilario first.
He could still kill her if we move against him. Maker knows what's in his head.
V, you're too pessimistic for your own good. Reason with him, Lucanis.
I thought I had a clear shot at my target. What if I go after him and get Katarina killed? Help us.
How? What do you need?
He'll listen. He always listens to you. Come.
What did you do? Is this the Fade? It seems different. It isn't like those fragments of Solus's past in the crossroads either.
Lucanis is here. Always. Behind locked doors. I can't break through.
All right, let's go get him.
Useless. All of this, utterly useless.
I know this place. It's the ossuary, the prison we freed Lucanis from.
Freed? No. We've always been here.
Right. It's not the real ossuary, but it doesn't seem like a memory either. Lucanis is in here somewhere, right? He's... what? Where they kept his blood?
Yes. Go there. The locks everywhere. I can't touch them.
All right. How do I get past those?
Getting past the guards. It's a prison.
Right. What was I thinking?
What trouble you've been.
Nobody's here.
Of course not. Look, can't be here.
I get one of you back, only to lose the other.
When the demon emerges, let me have his entrails, my lady.
Rock, did you forget our deal? You were to bring my grandson back to me.
I did.
You brought me an abomination. Where is my grandson?
Tenderness and terror. Rage and relief. Old stale fear of disappointment.
This is the Fade. So this Katerina is... a spirit? Something like that?
No, Lucanis is mine. They won't dare. Thoughts live here. Ideas, feelings.
She's his idea of Katerina, then. Katerina. Lucanis is trapped, but I think you're part of his way out. Lucanis may have changed, but he's still the little boy you loved and raised.
He's not changed. He's possessed by a demon.
You would never think of rejecting him whatever happened, would you?
My poor boy.
Envy is the rarest of all demons. Most challenging to cultivate. The conditions must be perfect.
Don't worry, Rook. I've got my eye on the prisoner.
You've conjured up a friendly face, Lucanis. But your real friends and allies need you. In the real world.
Rook, are you sure Spite isn't tricking you? What if there's no Lucanis? Just the demon?
After a year in the ossuary, you might believe that. But you're no demon.
Look around. This isn't the mind of a human being, let alone an Antivan Crow.
You're the man you were, Lucanis, even buried in this pain. No demon would punish itself like this.
You really shouldn't trust anything you find in the Fade.
I trust you, Lucanis. And I trust myself to get you home. Let me.
You know that's the kind of attitude that's gonna get you killed, right?
I'll risk it. I have a master assassin on my side, don't I?
Just be careful.
Rook. Should you be here? Can't say it's the safest place in the world.
Strangeness and charm. Something familiar and foreign at the same time. With a little guilt.
Somehow I thought Lucanus would think of Nev as being more... Tevinter?
Tevinter? People come in three kinds. Family, enemies, contracts.
I hope that's just spite talking. Nev, you need to let us pass.
You know how he is, Rook. Even if you open the door, Lucanus won't walk through it. This is where he wants to be.
Well, I'm not leaving until Lucanus is all right, so we might be here a while.
You really think you can help him? You're such a sap, Rook.
I think it's time you stood aside and let me try.
Still fighting. Tiresome. There's no point, you know. Nothing awaits you anymore. You're long dead.
Rook, you're too good to be wasting your time in a place like this. Forget about my cousin. You've got much more important things to worry about, don't you? You've got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Sharp, jagged edges. Hurt with every breath. Grief and relief. Hope and anger mixed.
Lucanus, you don't owe Ilario a second thought, much less a supporting role.
He put us here.
You've got to leave this be, Rook. You turn my cousin loose, it's only going to cause more grief.
I think Ilario will be feeling that grief. Right, Lucanus?
You know that Katerina had 5 children? 8 grandchildren, all dead now, except for Lucanus and me. Last time the Grows fought a war of succession, House de la Morte lost everything. Except the seat of First Talon. This time, we fight ourselves. What will be left then? You think you'll survive? Your friends? Your cause?
You know him, Lucanus. Even here, Ilario just wants to save his own neck.
Would that be enough? Would anything? Do you really think he made a deal with a demon? He's not even a mage. Or do you think maybe he just found the one there already? He'll carry this prison with him forever. And he'll fill it with corpses given time.
We need out!
You're an Antivan Crow, Lucanus. A professional. Trained to avoid collateral damage and go after the real enemy.
You have no idea what the consequences will be.
Whatever they are, Lucanus, I'll be there to help you.
How long are you going to keep doing this? What are you doing here, Rook?
I had to find you. If anything happened to you, I can't even think about it.
You should go. It's better I stay here than risk losing you.
You see? He breaks our agreement. His mind is still here. He wants to stay here, so he keeps me here!
Mierda! Why would I want to stay? Even in my head, this place is a nightmare.
Right. But it's a nightmare you already defeated. I get it now. As bad as the ossuary was for you, it was better than the alternative.
What alternative?
The ossuary, Zara. You could solve those problems with the blade, but healing again? Living is an abomination. There's no simple answer there. If you fail, you could hurt the ones you love.
No! This is not... Damn it, Rook! Make him leave!
Yelling at someone who's trying to fix themselves doesn't help, Spite. And since you're stuck with him, you're only hurting yourself.
Rook, you're right. There has to be a way through this. It's just so much. I cannot see how to begin.
Start small. You and Spite. Figure out a goal you can both agree on, then make it happen.
A contract?
Contracts are for clients. Call this an alliance. But on what terms?
Didn't you just learn your grandmother was alive? What are you waiting for? Go rescue her.
That's true.
Fighting crows?
And anyone else that gets in our way. Do we have a deal? We free Katarina together.
Together? We will fight!
Rook, are you all right?
What's the matter with the two of you?
It's okay. We needed a moment, but I'd say we're ready for anything. How long were we standing here?
Just long enough for it to get awkward. You're sure you're all right?
We're fine, Thea. Don't waste your worry on us. Can I trust the two of you to keep an eye on Ilario? If he starts anything, I want to know about it.
I was going to do that anyway.
You're planning something.
I'm getting Katarina back. But Viago is right. We need more information before we move. Ilario panicked when I came back alive. If he panics again, he could actually kill her this time. We'll only get one chance at this.
Ship got in yesterday.
So you and Spite are friends now? Can't say my money was on that one.
I would have lost that bet too.
If it lets you sleep at night. Unless this clears the way for new and different midnight brooding.
I wouldn't put it past me.
Hey, remember the dragon we were talking about with the lords? Veiljumpers sent word. She's in Arlathan Forest. Destroyed a village and turned it into her new lair. I've got the location from the Veiljumpers. We can go whenever you want.
Don't panic. Things always seem impossible. Just fight one battle at a time.
I heard from Kal Shirak about the missing dwarves. Stalgard's one of them. I have to go help. They sent me maps of the area where the missing were last seen. It's a start. You're coming to help, right?
I promised I would.
I'm ready to go whenever you are. Let's not wait too long.
Hey, Rook. I was planning to take us on to the woods in Arlathan soon. Want to keep us company?
Sounds good to me.
Hassan will be glad to hear it. Needs to stretch his wings.
Supper in Docktown?
You're actually taking a break.
I've got leads to chase on Aelia and Docktown's missing people. A few sources will only talk if I'm alone. But if you're around after, you help me uncover all this. Supper's on me.
Sure. Count me in. Oh, great. Is it your turn to cook? What's all this gonna be?
Paella. Well, 2 of them. One without seafood for Emmerich. And churros for dessert. They pair well with chocolate calda.
Wait. Did you make dessert just for me?
There's enough for everyone.
As long as they don't mind having it with my favorite drink.
They won't complain.
You didn't have to do anything special for me.
Yes, I did. I still don't know how to apologize for everything. And you...
You made dessert. Just for me.
It's nothing. Or not enough.
It is. And you are. And I'll have you know, I'm very easily bribed.
I'll keep that in mind.